Is that leaning or is it just me? Let's see if we can push those on a bit more. Excuse me while I just put my CDs up. We don't want them falling over. Crystal Jacqueline, band my uncle really likes, and my mum went and saw them live in Glastonbury. And they're really cool. They're an all-female band, and their sound is a bit like this front cover. It's kind of a little bit gothy, a little bit psychedelic, very melodic, very good. My only complaint is it's a bit too long, but I imagine what happened is they were like, yes, we can make an album, so we'll just stuff all the songs we have onto one CD. Also, Tina Nog play on the album, which is cool, and they're on Mega Doom. Next, we have a punk band called Circle of Rage, Chaos, Rage in D minor. They're cool. Again, they're from that 100 albums box set I bought from a record label, I believe, on eBay. They're good, not bad. They're just a bit meh. Then we have Kaisers or Caesars, Paper Tigers. Not really listened to this. It's a bit kind of... Well, I don't know because I haven't listened to it. Maybe I should add it to my listening pile. Let me know. Crazy Town's first album. This one's actually good, although it is very heavily dated these days. Really misogynistic lyrics in Butterfly, like "Come my lady, come my lady, you're my pretty pie, sugar, baby." I even got the lyrics wrong. Never mind. However, I grew up with it, so nostalgia, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Next, we have this really cool album by Cauldron called New Gods. 9 tracks of blistering heavy metal with epic riffs and slightly sludgy Masters of Reality style Black Sabbath production. And I would love to know what this yellow thing on the front is. Next we have Code Orange, Forever. I literally bought this because everyone was screaming about it in 2017, 18. One of those years. I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I bought it and I was like, oh. I think there was better released that year, to be just my personal view. I like it. And it's got some seriously good energy, but it's not my favourite of that year. Next, we have Cancer's newest album, which is called Shadow Grip. Amazing production on this. It sounds really full and thick and heavy. My only issue is, because of this thing, I thought it was one of their old albums. It wasn't until I read it properly, that I realised it was a new album. That said, it is a really good new album, and I like death metal, but I'm very piggy with it. I actually genuinely like this one, and the album is called Shadow Gripped by Cancer, and they're British. Classic death metal album by Carcass, Heartwork. Really like this one, but I do need to listen to it more, so it's going on the now almost impossibly huge listing pile. Crown the Empire are kind of I believe it's called electronical metalcore band. Lots of breakdowns, singing and growling, and they got that song that goes, "I don't give a fuck," like that, which is cool. Then we got some Joe Cocker from when I was a kid, and this disc I found in a very wet room, so it's a bit, I'm not even sure if it will play, but I kept it for nostalgia reasons, so it might play, it might not. Then we've got some Craig David, it's got 7 Days on it. I literally bought it because it was £1, and sometimes I want something new. Then we've got this classic, which is called Close to You by the Carpenters. We've only just begun. Love that song. However, it's in a horror film, which scares me, so kind of don't like it anymore. Next, we have Cocoon, This Is Freedom. Another album from the 100 box set. There's a bit of soup there, but never mind. Cream, Disraeli Gears, classic album, although I'm not that much of a fan of it, to be honest. I think some of their other albums are actually better. I think this was only so big because it's pink, and because of Sunshine of Your Love, which is a great song. My favourite Circa Survive album, The Amulet. Illustration is my favourite song on it, because it goes do 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 do. It's just really cool. Charlatans, Melting Pot compilation. I don't really know why I own that, because I hate them. I don't hate them, but they're just not great. Knock and Tursa are a black metal band from Scotland. yeah, black metal from Scotland. Millionaire, I've bought this album about 9 times. Every time I lend it to somebody, I never get it back. I paid a penny for this one. For you guys in America, that's like 1 cent. It's actually less than 1 cent, but it's the equivalent of a penny. 1 cent. I like it. I like the way he raps really fast and there's lots of bass and stuff. Then we got Charlie Parker. This is a great compilation CD. Charlie Parker kind of came out before albums were a thing, so I don't think you can there are any actual Charlie Parker albums. So this wonderful compilation puts some of his best songs into one CD, and yeah, it's great. Whisper. Next we have Capdown's last album. It's not great. There's not enough saxophone in it, and it's not scarry enough. It's just a bit. But I think they were going through a lot of trouble at the time, and that's why they broke up afterwards. Anyway, Cranberries, To the Faithful Departed. I think this one's the one that's a bit preachy and a bit thingy, and I believe they went on a hiatus shortly after this album. Possibly that's the reason why. Rip Dolores. Corrosion of Conformity's bestest album, apparently. I've never actually listened to it, so it's going on the listening pile. I only got it recently though, to be fair. Oh, we're nearly at the end. Right. Captain Beefheart's Sophus Milk album. This is a good album. My only issue with it is there's 19 songs on it, and over half of them are bonus tracks. The actual album finishes at song 12. The rest of them are all bonus tracks. I don't mind that, but I wish they put the bonus tracks on a different disc, for the same reason I mentioned earlier about artwork, about it being a piece of art. It's not a bad album. Not the best thing in the world though. I think they're a bit hyped up, to be honest. Next we have Crypt Sermon. These guys literally just released a new album like yesterday or the day before. They had their release party closed down by the police and moved to a small bar where all the bands sort of played with them on the stage. But look at that album artwork, man, it's great. It's actually going to go on my listening pile because I love it. Crypt Sermon are really good. Capdown's debut album, Civil Disobedience. These guys went to my school. They're about 5 years ahead of me though, so yeah. Scar Wars is their most famous song. But I also like Cain but Abel and Doug Number 1. Again though, bass is pushed too far back in the mix. This classic album is on an HD CD. It's Crosby, Stills and Nash. I've only actually listened to it once, so I might add this to my listening pile as well. Then we have Coolio, My Soul. It's not the album I thought it was, so I was a bit disappointed when I put it in the CD and realised that Gangster's Paradise wasn't on it. Cry. Okay, this is the last pile. We have Live Cannibalism by Cannibal Corpse. It's a really good live album. They actually sound really good live. There are no overdubs on this album. And anyone who can shout I Come Blood into a microphone is going to have my respect. Then we have Creeper. These guys are a gothy punk band. More punky than goth, but still quite punky. Dark. Gothy. Got there in the end. My favourite song on this is I Choose to Live, which is a song that kept me going when I was in my darkest periods. I was like, I choose to live, so I did. And here I am. Next we have The Calling. I only bought this Forever You Will Go. I only bought this for Wherever You Will Go because it was huge when I was little, and I love it. The actual rest of the album is really bland and generic. In fact, that song is bland and generic, to be honest. But it's just, catchy. And, if I could, then I would. And, that's something. Classic new metal album, Cold Chamber by Cold Chamber. Sometimes I used to call it Slow Caution. It's got Loco on it. It's also got Sway and Pig. It's good. Caffeine Kill are from that 100 albums box set. They're pretty cool. They, I think they're female fronted. They're kind of metally. Be honest, I can't really remember, but it's not going on my listening pile because the listening pile is huge. I'll never get through everything. Next we have Cynic's newest album. This is going on my listening pile because I took it off the listening pile for this video. I only got it the other day for £4.99 from HMV, who are doing this sort of classic albums deal thing, although I wouldn't really call this a classic album yet. It's not really new enough. It only came out in 2014, so it's not that old. It's good though. Well, I wouldn't know because I haven't heard it, but it looks good. So that's going on the album pile. French album by Carla Bruni, who is the ex-president of France's wife. I don't know why I bought it, but it was very cheap. Next we have this. It's a classic album by Cat Stevens. It's got... Ooh, what has it got on this one that I like? Pretty much everything. Sad Lisa. It's not as good as Teaser and the Tillerman though. Teaser and the Firecat, sorry. This is T for the Tillerman. God, I get those two albums mixed up. It's good though. Definitely a classic. Next we have Cocoon. These guys are a Scottish, I would say a heavy metal band with a little bit of a folk influence. They do have a violin and tin whistles and things in it. Very raw production. And they like swords. Epic. Blood for the Blood God, which is a reference to Warhammer. Or at least it should be. I'm not a huge Warhammer fan. I mean, I love it, but I don't really follow the lore or anything, so Cocoon could be the name of a god or something. Next we have Corner Shop. This has got Brimful of Asher, but this is the original version, which is slow and acoustic, and not actually as good. And that's the only reason I bought it, because it was £1. Then we have Cane Hill, 251. First time I listened to this, I thought, oh, that was a bit boring and a bit crap. Second time I listened to it, it's actually really good. It's been compared to Korn. Sort of has a corny feel. It's definitely a new metal album in terms of style. It's going on the listening pile. Yeah, it's good. Next we have Good Charlotte. This is I'm not sure why it's in the C section, because it's Good Charlotte. It's a bootleg live album of an acoustic set they did somewhere. But that shouldn't be there because it begins with G. Never mind. Next we have Condor. These guys are an awesome thrash metal band. I have no idea where they're from or when this album was released. There's literally no information except the lyrics and the CD. They're called Condor. The album is called Unstoppable Power. It's good though. I like it. The riffs are good. The production is raw. And then last but not least in the C section, I think... Yep. Last but not least, we have Crown the Empire's Retrograde. This is quite good. It's much more melodic than their other album. Much more sort of electronic. So much so that they even have a drum editor. Not a fan of the production though. It's a little bit too sort of heavily produced. But it's good. It's good. Thank you for watching. I am Cubby. This has been Personal Spin. This has been the C section of my CDs collection. Thanks for bearing with me with my eating and my new ileostomy bag. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around because part D will be coming soon. That one won't be very long because part D is huge. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and goodbye.